Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in.
So today we're talking love and marriage huntsville. Y'all know why y'all here. Anything I say is alleged in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal, and the Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. So a couple housekeeping things, some meat and potato items. It is free to follow me. It is free to follow me on this channel, Anonymous Tea. It's free to follow me on my other channel, Anonymous Tea. I can't talk today. Anonymous Tea Podcast. Got content coming over there today. TikTok. I promise I got content coming over there today on Anonymous Tea Podcast. For as long as we'll have TikTok, I don't even know. Anonymous Reality Tea on the Instagram, Instagrammies. Please, 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 please follow me over there. It is free. Free. Also, it is free, you guys, to share everywhere, to share these videos everywhere, so that it gets out there in these YouTube streets. So, as promised, this is part 2 recap of Mel's explosive live today at Anonymous Tea Podcast. I have part 1 of the live that picks up with Kimmy's, after her pausing of the video, picks up with the receipt with Kimmy's text messages. And then, like I said, the second live that's like an hour where her live it went out and for a little bit and then she came back. I have that full hour, y'all. So in this video, we're going to pick off. So where we left off was Mel saying that some of the people on the YouTubes do not have the comprehension skills and all the things. And Mel is now talking about the scene that took place on July 19th and that she had a call that same day. She showed receipts of the call time and everything else. And that the call after the scene was filmed was for 21 minutes. Said she was at a rooftop bar at 106 Jefferson Street. And this was when her and Kimmy met up. And nonetheless, this is where they had a scene, and, you know, essentially production was like to Mel, hey, we need to get, you know, Kimmy to talk about this lipstick situation and this to film for and all the things. And we heard about such and such, you know, you don't want to talk about it, but we need you to get her on there because it is out here in these streets. So another confirmation that Carlos King utilizes what is popular on social media and puts it on the show. It has nothing to do with anything other than he wants the problem is the Scots made a pact that they were not going to discuss it. So, nonetheless, you know, Mel said she'll see what she's going to do or whatever, but there's no guarantee if she tries to push and Kimmy starts shutting down or doesn't want to talk about it, like, that's it, that's all. So, you know, Kimmy, she let her know, she started calling her Kimberly, y'all. Said that after the scene was filmed, after Mel realized that Kimmy was not going to budge, gave her a call after the fact and said, you know that I don't care about no lipstick. Production told her to do it. She's not trying to be about the drama that they were making. Mel asked about it in the scene. Like, if you don't want to talk about it, let's just not even mention it again. And she said, as far as she was concerned, that was, you know, it was over for her, right? Unless she talks a little bit more about as well, you know, again, she thought her and Kimmy were cool since she kept it a buck with Kimmy fake scenes. So she let Kimmy come to the home again, right? So before she had Kimmy just in the garage, but this time she had Kimmy out in the sunroom. She made some Rotel dip and everything else. And, you know, they thought they were good. Mel is confused about the titles of these episodes, talking about Mel's double standards. Mel never said to anybody that they could not bring anything about her on social media onto the show, whereas she could bring things about them from social media onto the show. She's never said that. You know, she said that she's never talked about, you know, not things being real. She said she wants this to be real. It's supposed to be a reality TV show. It's supposed to be authentic. The audience knows a show is authentic when a show is real and when a show is fake and when a show is fake news. And she's like, we're not doing reality TV anymore. It's all actors and actresses. And, you know, Mel's like, this isn't what I signed up to be a reality. This is supposed to be a reality TV. And so, nonetheless, She said that, Mel and Kimmy, they ate at her house after the cameras left, after they were done filming the scene, stayed in the sunroom, had chairs. They were eating after all hours of the night with Kimmy. There was no problems. And she said also there was no problem at the bachelorette party. She said what people don't realize is, at that point, there was a lot of, Kimmy was the one that was doing a lot of the chatting, because she was trying to instigate the drama. Mel said very little words at that bachelorette party. And so, and also she said she originally sat at the table, and they didn't really show this, but at the reception of the vow renewal, she said everybody talked to her with the exception, I think, of Trish and Destiny, but the Scotts were talking to her, the Scotts 1.0 and 2.0, and they were talking about their kids and how big their kids were getting and everything else. Everybody was fine. Everybody was complimentary. There wasn't an issue. And, Mel decided to leave when she felt a boundary was crossed. So she said her boundary that was crossed was essentially Martell showing up and sitting there at the table unannounced. And she said that she didn't make a scene. She said she gracefully left. She said what wasn't shown was when she told Nell she was about to leave, and to make sure that Nell looks at her gift, Nell called over the photographer to take a picture with her and Nell, Nell and Chris and all the things. And, Mel left. She also said that Destiny was trying to be all up in the picture, y'all. That Destiny ran over there when she saw Mel over there with Nell, and she tried to get into the photos, y'all, and tried to talk to Mel. And Mel was not entertaining her madness. And so nonetheless, Mel also wanted to set the record straight that there was no violation of no protective order. She was trying to say that some people had it incorrect. And Mel said she had her own personal boundary in place. And the boundary she had in place basically was she was not filming with Martell all season. So why would you set it up if she already called you out times prior about Martell potentially being at certain events and trying to have Mel basically lose out on money for the Super Bowl and other things, and have y'all film together knowing daggone well she has something in place that not want to film with him. So nonetheless, she said, if you're still going to try to flip on me, I'm out of here. So she left and told everybody bye. And so nonetheless, there was no order in place at that time. She said that, unfortunately, production did not stick to boundaries that Mel had in place. And then she had, as far as there's clips for the reunion, she said that she had conversations with both Kimmy and Maurice and understood, why things were the way they were, why this was brought up regarding the DUI, regarding the lipstick and all the things. She said when she met with Maurice, she thought everything was good. They apologized to each other, and they met and they said they were never going to discuss it again. She thought that this was resolution, and she said that she didn't care about the lipstick. And so, nonetheless, she said that she noticed, obviously, that the Scotts 1.0 and the 2.0, they like to stick together and not say anything, but yet still want to reap the checks and the benefits of being on reality TV. Make it make sense. And so then, essentially, Mel talked a little bit with Marie. She said she doesn't think it aired on the show about how you're talking about how you miss the nice Mel, but you never see Mel and who she is without Martell. So you've never seen her happy and things like that without Martell. You guys were always forced to still film scenes together, even if Mel and Tell were fighting or arguing or whatever else. And then I think Kimmy said on the show that nobody really reached out to her when Maurice got arrested, and Mel had the receipt and showed the receipt about her reaching out, that she texted Kimberly to check on her and to see how she was doing. And she said she understands as a woman, as a mom, she carries a lot and all the things. She said on June, she texted Kimberly, said, "Hi, Kimmy, checking on you." And also she reached out to invite her to the mimosas. Also contacted Kimmy again in August saying she hopes she enjoyed herself. And ended up being, she sent Kimmy some pictures, y'all. Some pictures of Maurice and Kimmy that Freddie O took, and it was a really emotional moment, a very heartfelt moment between Kimmy and one of the millimeters, because one of the millimeters said that they had survived breast cancer for 30 years, and that really touched, you know, Kimmy and everything else. And so they were very complimentary of the pictures and everything else. And from Mel's understanding, as far as she was concerned, there's no problems with Kimmy. Her Kimmy were good. And so she said that she was not about to, you know, in October when the reunion films, get out of character out on stage. So when Mel got on stage in October at the filming of the reunion, Mel said she was super shocked and she was sad to sit there seeing all this vitriol and all these things. There was no resolution. People had batteries that were put in certain people's backs and all the things. And she is trying to figure out what is happening. She's trying to look at these phone conversations and these text messages that she just had with Kimmy recently over the past few months. Everything was all good. Kimmy never said anything to Mel about there being any issues, about there being any problems. And now all of a sudden y'all reunion and y'all trying to be all rah, rah, rah and da, 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 da. And na 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 na, and she also said again, it is not true. She ran off the stage crying. She said she didn't have a tear in her eye. She wasn't about to cry. She said she was respectful. She kept her composure. And, you know, she wanted resolution with all this stuff, and she thought that there was already resolution. There was going to be other topics that were going to be discussed, but she realized that a lot of these cast members have a reality TV moment of them being messy and looking like a fool. And so that's when she said to her team again, these people are delusional. These people are absolutely delusional. Mel's talking about how she's had conversations about resolutions, and then all of a sudden people want to act a different way because they're choosing now that they need to have an ill. And then the tea that she also dropped, y'all, was she said that there's a recording out there on this show. Mel heard it, and they said that they are putting a former cast member, they're putting you on ice because they thought that this person was a Mel supporter. They thought this person was a millimeter. We're banking on, since they put this person on ice, that Mel would quit then. That Mel would quit the show then by seeing that it's for Mel not to have any allies on this show. It is intentional that she is not supposed to have allies on this show because that goes against what Carlos, since he has not gotten his way. And so, nonetheless, you know, she also explained again, and I even said this, how much energy, how much, you know, she's seeing how much Kimmy is really trying to come for Mel. And Mel's thinking to herself, when Kimmy went through cancer, you know, outside of the filming, which I said, outside of film, she was there all the time for Kimmy more than her so-called loved ones. And it wasn't just the flowers. She would show up randomly for food. She would have food sent over. She wasn't just trying to post things on social media for fakery, for clicks and views. Trying to be a kind person. She was trying to be a nice person. They had a real friendship and wanted to show up for each other. And she said she feels a certain type of way because she feels like, you know, she wanted to, you know, she put on, of course, the party celebrating Kimmy being cancer-free and everything else. And, you know, there were other things Mel wanted to do for Kimmy, apparently, but production told her, oh, Tisha wants to do this or wants to do these things. And so, nonetheless, you know, Mel's like, nobody shows up for me. Nobody shows up and nobody cares what I've got going on. But Mel said, you know, you don't get to, you know, reap where you sow, you reap what you sow. So that is going to be the conclusion of this video, which is really Kimmy throwing her real friendship in the trash for the sake of a reality TV check. And Carlos King, you know, of continued attacks on Mel and isolation tactics. Yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. That said, I'll talk to you guys again.